Why am I making a film of this? Because this, where I am, has got nothing to do with making films. You see, this is me. Sat cross-legged here. It's just perfect. Far enough away from the road such that there's not a sound. I'm making a film because this is a momentous moment. Although I'm not given to hyperbole or melodrama, which is the point. Just being completely happy. Places like this removes from the soul hyperbole and melodrama. It's not momentous, but it is the final crossroads, the final pathway, choice I must make. Actually, the truth is, only for 5 or 6 years, for the last 7 years, have I had it in my mind that I want the road less travelled, the pathway less travelled, meaning to find it's the ice cream van down in that village down there. Find a country lass. You see, that very, very phrase itself is silly, typical Britain. Because, God, I'm angry. I'm not very often angry. But 4 or 5 weeks ago, I met a woman. This is office time. I met a woman in the walking centre, and I was only there to use the plug and charge my laptop up. And we really clicked. She was gorgeous, and she was walking the dike herself. Now, almost all walkers, they just, I can't stand them because they have loads of equipment and fancy. It's all about showing off. And I got talking with this woman because she just had a fairly small rucksack. And I asked her about her rucksack, and she told me she was walking the whole path. And her eyes were so bright. I know that woman just is content to sit places like this alone. Anyway, we really, there was quite a few moments, and then this goddamn awful couple who had heard us meeting and connecting. They butted this old couple having cake in their towny car, busybody old couple having cake in the walking centre. They kind of butted in and took over the conversation. I lost her. My point. There are a few. There are so few then. There are so few that are totally content just being here as I am. And also enjoy working, building fences, just a little bit of small scale, looking after a bit of stock or something like that. Not in a way that you're welded to it forever. You can do it in such a way that you still have your freedom. You can still go on trips abroad. You can keep animals that don't need much looking after and can't hurt themselves if they escape. Anyway, but I meeting her again yesterday, encountering her, that electricity, it was so enjoyable. Now, she's not a woman who would want to be up here, I don't think. If she was, she'd have a bright coloured, towny top on. And it would be a big event for her. But you see, it was so nice. Real electricity between two people. I'll probably not encounter her again. And anyway, she did tell me the first time we met she had a partner. Although, she just seems a little different this second time. But it was so nice. You feel alive. Now, I can't find anybody who's Heidi or someone who just wants to be happy with no psychodrama, no melodrama, just spending a lot of time in the outdoors, chopping the wood for the fire or whatever. I can't find him. So 6 or 7 years, I suppose, I was looking. I didn't realise. In fact, it's only 6 or 7 years ago it really gelled. That's really what I want. But I can't find it. The walk woman, I think she was one. And I do know a couple. 3 or 4 of them, actually. But they're fully married and, well, actually, no, only 2. A couple of them. They're fully married. So be it. So, I have to divert to the road a little more travelled. The more towny woman, like her yesterday. So be it. With her hair dye, a hairdo and a hair dye, and her towny ways. So be it. I can't spend the rest of my life with no goddamn human touch and no life. There's no life. It's not my fault that hardly any of these women exist anymore. I mean, my perfect woman is, I always forget, but what's her face in Ring of Bright Water? Virginia McKenna. Ring of Bright Water. There you go. That's my kind of perfect woman. Happy to get out there in the barn, up to a gusset in the coal barn, rescuing the swan. Was it that it got caught in the wire? No, I accept. That's the reality. That's what I kind of have been holding out for, searching for. No, I did meet the other one. Well, who was the other one? Oh, the wuss. Yeah. Although I'm not quite sure about her. After I've seen her 3 or 4 occasions over a couple of years. But one day she has the super dyed blonde hair. And much more expensive horse box. Anyway, no, they don't exist. Or there's so few of them. There's so few. Oh yeah, the woman in the walking centre. Okay, she had fairly expensive walking boots, but we were discussing them and they were starting to fall to bits. And she was just so homespun, down to earth. Very beautiful. Probably 10 years younger than me. I don't normally go for younger ones. But anyway, there we go. End of subject. End of subject. I've got to go on the path that takes me into the lowlands. That's the reality. It's a shame because remarkably, the last 3 or 4 years, I've found wonderful work on other people's land. That makes it sound like I care about work. No, I don't. It's the job, meaning just the loveliness of rebuilding a fence that no one else is going to rebuild, and that you've taken on a little job to do it for a modest fee. And yeah, I could be earning £50 an hour with my brain, but no. Rebuilding a fence, doing it properly, that's true peace and centeredness, satisfying work. But I ain't ever gonna have anybody with me in my life who will do that, be part of that. I've got to accept it entirely. Aim for the lowlands. Can I? I suppose so. I suppose so. It's them I feel sorry for. They don't know the pleasure. I mean, that tree that's angled there, it's in such a beautiful spot. And the gorse, you can see the gorse is yellow because where the gorse particularly gets sunshine on it, but the sunnier spots, you get a lot more flowering, and the scent there now will be astonishing. And maybe cutting down that tree into logs, that would take a few hours. Working there would be such pleasure, such pleasure. It does you so much good. But you can't go through life with no life. Meeting her again yesterday, who I'll probably never meet again. I'll keep my eye open for her though. There we go.